Raul Menendez is returning in Black Ops 7, but is he really the villain of Black Ops 7? Well, let's dive in and figure it out. 10 years after the events of the Menendez drone attacks from 2025, the world is a much different place. NATO has completely dissolved as of 2028, unable to keep themselves together. All previous alliances have crumbled, all because of one man, Menendez. His legacy is a shadow over the world. But the story really starts on July 16th, 2035, when Raul Menendez, somehow back from the dead, releases a video.
2025 was just the beginning. A necessary first step. Once again, you shall know fear.
Your streets shall once again run red with your blood.
Now, immediately after this, the world is thrown into chaos and panic. Everyone is trying to figure out what Menendez is planning, how he is coming back, and what is going to happen this time, if he's going to finish the business he had started in 2025. And as all of this is happening, David Mason is struggling to come to terms with this. He killed Raul Menendez in 2025, a gunshot to the head, and now Raul Menendez is back somehow. And we get this statement from Troy Marshall to David Mason about Raul Menendez.
Refuses to let me go. Stop looking backwards, David, but ladders is what you do next.
So the assumption from the US government is that Menendez somehow planned that he would attack the United States and attack all the capitalist governments 10 years after his death by having some type of fallback plan that the US was not aware of. However, he's not really back. He's dead. Cortes Dia failed. Menendez is not returning. What he actually is a deepfake generated computer program, capable of saying or doing whatever his creator wants. But who is his creator? His creator is the Guild, the corporation who blew up monetarily, whose stock price more than tripled immediately after the Menendez drone attacks because they were there to help. The Guild has re-brought back Raul Menendez from the dead, but they're doing it for a kind of odd reason. After the events of 2025, the Guild saw huge corporate success, partially because at the sites of all devastation where Raul Menendez had attacked capitalist governments, the Guild was there to help out. They were supplying robots to feed people, bringing water and medical aid to areas that needed it, and more importantly, helping rebuild the infrastructure of many of these damaged areas. They had a lot of goodwill, and part of that was because they started less than 3 months after the events of the Menendez drone attacks, selling private security drones and security systems to everyone, making them available so everyone could defend themselves and not be reliant on government powers to defend themselves. And this one simple idea of taking safety out of the government's hands and putting it into your hands so you could defend yourself sold billions. As of 2030, they were the biggest company in the world, and by 2033, Emma Kagan, the new CEO, took over. But the advertising for the Guild has always been, don't fear the future. They are selling a sense of safety, and they are selling an image of a protective shield between the average person and the threats of the world. The whole point of their shield logo is that they are defending the common person. However, you can't sell safety to a person who feels safe. You can't sell security to a person who feels secure. And you can't sell emergency services to someone who's not going through an emergency. Everyone in the world at this point, by 2035, has been completely reliant on the Guild's technology. The last time Menendez attacked, he used government's own technology against them. Now, private citizens had control of their own technology. And the threat of him taking that technology that everyone has come to rely on and using it against them is looming over the world. He is this big imposing presence because people think he's going to attack with their own safety drones yet again. And the Guild is creating fear, mass panic. Everyone is freaking out because of Menendez's return. The Guild steps in to sell safety, however. They sell assurance. But why? Well, that's because of Emma Kagan, the leader of the Guild and the CEO. She outed all the former executives in 2033 when she became the CEO of the Guild. She was trained personally by Savati Dumas to be ruthless in corporate warfare, to take out all of her competitors and go from the bottom of the ladder to the CEO of the company. Her only goal is to make the company bigger, better, and more profitable. However, the Guild is already the biggest private security company in the world. So what's the next step up from that? The biggest private security firm in the world doesn't have any customers. Well, you become the biggest public security firm in the world. You have to sell security to people who already have security and want to replace it, to governments, to massive organizations. You want these people who already have private security firms like police, military, however you want to identify them, to instead say, know what, you're actually the better option than us doing it ourselves.
Menendez is a terrorist. We're bringing peace and security to the world.
The Guild already has robots and security forces in every country to protect their own interest. They have their own massive surveillance network that works in a grid that they lend to governments like the United States to help out with criminal identification. But in order to sell security to countries, to nations, to however you want to put it, you have to have a weapon to use on the world to make them afraid of Raul Menendez, so they buy into your security. And that weapon is the Cradle 2.0, a new, more hallucinogenic version of the Cradle from 1990s that allows suggestion and auditory senses to impact the visions you're seeing. She creates the Menendez program from the computer and releases the video of Menendez, and then immediately follows it up with an attack. This scene of chaos that we saw in this clip right here.
Your streets shall once again run red with your blood.
And in doing so, she creates a fear of Menendez. All the while, she's pulling the strings from the shadows with an emergency backup of the Cradle 2.0 sitting in her back pocket in case anyone catches on to what she's doing. The real villain of Black Ops 7 is not Raul Menendez. The real villain is Emma Kagan. Subscribe for more, and until next time, I am IceBurgz. Stay frosty.